इतना सा फर्क है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on this webinar series called Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai is a webinar series presented by the management of Franchise India every day at 12 o'clock in the afternoon with an aim to introduce you to a new business opportunity. Every day, we bring to you an exciting and high potential franchise business opportunities from across the industry. Over the past 27 years, Franchise India has helped thousands of investors selecting the right franchise opportunity and successfully start their entrepreneurial journey. Franchise India, as the world's largest integrated franchise solution company, our role is to make sure your investment is safe by taking an informed decision and your journey from investor to entrepreneur is smooth and successful. In today's webinar, we will introduce a brand called Form Pilates and Physio. Form Pilates and Physio is a premium wellness brand based in Mumbai, founded with the vision to make movement safe, mindful, and empowering. The brand merges the science of physiotherapy and the art of Pilates, creating a holistic and personalized fitness experience. With two flagship stores in Andheri West and Vilepale East, Form Pilates results driven session that combines rehabilitation, strength, and functional mobility, helping clients move better, live pain-free, and achieve optimal well-being. To talk about this brand, I'm joined with both the co-founders, Dr. Padanya, she's the co-founder, and we have Dr. Mangesh. I would also like to introduce the panel that we have today. We have Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, she's the Managing Director of Franchise India Group. We also have Nikita Guru, she's a franchise consultant. We have Madiha, she's the Key Account Manager from uh, Mumbai, and we have Aditya. He is a financial consultant from Franca. But before we talk about the brand, we'll explore the business opportunity and understand the brand further. I would like to inform all the viewers that you also have opportunity to ask questions related to the brand and the business. In case if you have any question, my request is to please keep on posting your queries into the Q&A box, and we will take them up once the presentation is over. Now, before we start, if may I request Sonia ma'am to take the lead and let's set the perspective, and then we will move on to the introduction of both the co-founders and then later presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, Bharat. And I take this opportunity of welcoming Dr. Mangesh and Dr. Pratnya, and also all our investors who have joined in today's webinar. And friends, just to extend, I think Bharat has given a very impressive overview of the opportunity at large. But I'd like to also introduce both the co-founders, and I would say it's a privilege to have both of them today on today's webinar. So Dr. Mangesh is a US trained physiotherapist, and he's also the grandson of legendary Dr. Kutnis Mangesh. And he comes with a lot of specialization, including the master's degree in physiotherapy and also master's in business administration in healthcare. And he brings overall nearly 2 decades of experience in physiotherapy expertise. He's worked with some of the top US healthcare organizations. And he firmly believes, and that's very, very true, that combining physiotherapy with Pilates can make a tremendous and a very notable impact on the quality of life of every individual, irrespective of their health status, their age, or gender. And we like to hear more about his journey in these 2 odd decades. And we also have Dr. Pratnya. She's also US trained physiotherapist, and she's also certified in Pilates as a Pilates instructor. And she also holds a master degree in physiotherapy and also a master's in administration degree, including certification from the US in in Pilates. And in addition to this, both the co-founders, Dr. Mangesh and Dr. Pratnya, they also are part of, in fact, they're also the managing partners of the consulting physiotherapist, which is Dr. Kutnis Memorial Physiotherapy Clinic, which is also located closer to where their existing clinic is, which is Ville Parle. So if you look at the overall opportunity, friends, and that is also how the overall brand has positioned themselves. So Form actually focuses on a lot of movement quality, rehab, and a lot of functional strength. And they've positioned their brand between gyms and medical clinics, which also I would say is a great opportunity because they offer athlete-grade care in a very lifestyle-oriented environment. So before we proceed further, I'll also request Dr. Mangesh, Dr. Pratnya, if you want to talk about your journey and your experience in the industry at large over the last 18 years. And friends, little bit on the flow of the webinar, we'll talk about the industry at large. We'll talk about the opportunity. We'll also take you through the business model. And finally, we'll take you through the financials. And any questions that you have, we'll be happy to answer these questions as we close our presentation. And if you have any experience in the industry at large, any complementing experience that you have, we'll also be happy to hear from you. So you can put your questions in the Q&A box and we'll be happy to answer these questions. So over to you, Dr. Mangesh and Dr. Katnya.
Thank you so much, Sonia. We will start our presentation. I'm just pulling up the slides. Sorry, give me 1 minute. Okay, can everyone see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So as Sonia mentioned, our flow will be, we'll go through the business overview, market analysis, franchise proposal, and really appreciate you taking us through our introduction. But just to give any additional overview, as Sonia mentioned, Mangesh and I, we both are co-founders of Form Pilates and Physio. Education-wise, we both have a master's in physiotherapy and master's in business administration. I've worked in healthcare administration and healthcare management, consulting with organizations such as NYU Langone Health, Deloitte Consulting, whereas Mangesh, in addition to his master's degrees, have several international certificates in health and wellness and experience in working in major healthcare firms. Mangesh and I individually bring over 20 years of expertise in health and wellness field from US as well as India. We wanted to combine our knowledge of physiotherapy and experiences business management and our passion to serve the community and positively impact the quality of life of every individual. And that's how the idea of Form Pilates and Physio was born. We moved from US to Mumbai last year after 20 years being in US and started our first studio in Andheri West in July 2024. Considering the demand in the market, we opened our second studio immediately after in Ville Parle in November. Our plan was to open our third studio by this Diwali, but the franchisee opportunity came along, and here we are to present what we've learned so far from the businesses and share the knowledge and experience and ability to share this amazing opportunity with everyone else. So we really combine our physiotherapy expertise with science of Pilates to deliver effective and impactful exercise sessions. And that's what we wanted to bring to everyone. For those who don't have as much background in Pilates, I'm just going to give a quick snapshot of what Pilates is. So Pilates is really a type of mind and body exercise that was developed over 100 years ago. It is a low-impact, full-body exercise method that focuses on core strength, posture, balance, and flexibility. In Pilates, reformer that you see here on the left side is the most primary and versatile equipment that is used. It looks like a low bed with sliding platform, and it moves back and forth along the rails, and it's attached to the springs that is adjustable in resistance. So that is how the exercises are basically conducted. You'll also see Pilates chair, which is again on the left side here, which is another exercise equipment and serves as another exercise modality of multiple exercises. So next couple of slides, you will just kind of see multiple equipments that are used in Pilates, but the exclusive ones that are only used with Pilates are really the reformer, the tower, and the chair that I just talked about. Most common question we get, do we need electricity for these equipments to run on? No, they are mechanical. We don't need any electricity for these equipments to run on. So the type of services that we offer with Form Pilates and Physio, the most common one is group sessions and the personal sessions. So clients usually come in at a particular time and they attend group sessions. As our name is Form Pilates and Physio, and that's part of our business model as well. We also will be providing physiotherapy services along with Pilates services. And that brings to our special kind of Pilates that we can offer, which is clinical Pilates. So clinical Pilates are really designed for any people who have medical conditions. So we can provide physiotherapy services, clinical Pilates, and those people can transition to group Pilates as well. These are the snapshots of our Andheri West and Ville Parle East studios. The studio space is about 700 square feet and must have lots of natural sunlight with preferably floor to ceiling windows. This kind of contributes to the experience of Pilates. We will be talking about details once we get into the market analysis and the franchise opportunity, more about this. But let us take you through the differentiator that helps us ask why us. So our biggest differentiator is clinical Pilates advantage. Each studio will have an associated physiotherapist who will suggest any modification precautions for all clients with, say, medical conditions, general aches and pains. The other differentiator is we also have a scheduling app, which is very user-friendly for clients. And for investors or business owners, it will be one-stop shop, which will provide you details regarding daily sales, new inquiries, how many new clients are onboarded, how many enrollments are done, how many leads do we need to follow up on, schedules, and much more. You can also track your inventory. You can also track your trainer attendance on this app. So this will be a huge help in terms of tracking your business numbers. Another advantage is state-of-the-art premium Pilates equipment that will be used to provide top-notch experience and enhance safety for clients. So we really created this brand, which was not solely based on numbers, but also me and Mangesh as clinicians, we truly understand how beneficial Pilates would be to everyone who is able to participate. So really, when we think about the exercises and who would benefit from it, we truly believe anyone who can get on the reformer would benefit from this exercise. However, what we have seen is our brand truly resonates primarily with cosmopolitan women and also men aged 25 to 55 in affluent demographics and who are passionate about their personal wellness and dedicated in achieving their health goals. In terms of market analysis, the key growth drivers are really currently you would see everywhere. These celebrities endorsement with Pilates is trending. You see a lot of top actors, actresses, now even sportsmen are doing Pilates for health and wellness. And it's been going on for years now, but now what our goal is to bring it to everyone so that everyone can take opportunity and take advantage of this amazing workout. Really, the Indian fitness industry is forecast to grow from 16,000 crore rupees to 37,000 crore by 2030. So it's almost doubling in numbers. So the fitness is really going to be big. And in terms of Pilates, the boutique and instructor-led fitness formats are the fastest growing segment in fitness industry, and with projected growth of 18.8% by 2030. So we're really, really looking with the market analysis, it's really trending upwards. So that was mainly from my side, mainly providing our journey, market analysis. Next, the franchise proposal. Nikita will be sharing the screen and taking us through the proposal.
Thank you, Pradya, for the wonderful walkthrough of the brand. I'll quickly share my screen and walk everyone through the franchise proposal that we have today. Okay, is my screen visible to everyone?
Yeah, it is visible. If you could just put it in the full screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yes.
Okay, so Firm Pilates, as we all know what wonderful brand it is. We are open with FOFO, franchise-owned, franchise operated model. Currently, like Pradnya mentioned, they are already operating through very successful two outlets back there in Bombay. One is Ville Parle, other one is in Andhe, other one is in, I'm sorry, I missed out on that. But they are Andheri, correct. So they are open for FOFO model currently and open all through pan India. Majority in tier 1 cities or the metro cities. They are also open in Bombay itself with FOFO. And format wise, they're open for both single unit and multi-unit or area developer franchise formats. So somebody who wants to take more than one units or they want to develop a particular area or a region or a state, they are open to give area developer license as well. These are the basic roles and responsibilities under FOFO model. I'll just quickly walk through them. So under FOFO, basically owning or renting the property, paying the lease deposit if they are renting out the property, store setup expenses, including the interiors, equipment setup, your furniture, furnishing, IT POS systems, branding expenses, franchise fee, if you are going ahead for insuring your store, so store insurance. If there is any inventory, in this case, there will be equipment. So, upfront expenses to buy the equipment, rent, operating expenses. That means, whatever expenses that you're bearing on month basis. That is your primarily your staff salary, your electricity bill, your basically utility bill, water expenses, all of that. Local marketing, whichever territory, whichever city you're opening your outlet in. So you have to obviously start marketing your outlet to gain more and more traction and more customers. So local marketing and logistics and discounts. If you are giving any discounts to your customers, all these areas will be a dedicated responsibility of the franchise partner. Now, Form Pilates will also take care of the marketing, but on the centralized level. So they will, hold control of the website, and also whichever new outlet is coming up in different cities, they can also start marketing on their own. That so and so outlet is coming up in so and so city, so they can also start promoting their upcoming franchise outlets. Now, monthly payout will be paid out in the form of royalty, which is 6% in this case, to the brand. So the franchise owner will pay out a 6% royalty on a monthly basis to Form Pilates. Agreement terms primarily is 5 years. They can also, if they have a successful partnership for the first 5 years, they can also renew the partnership for the further years, and the terms and clauses can be discussed and negotiated then and there. Now, I will quickly walk you all through the basic investment details. So the ideal area required to open a Form Pilates studio is about 700 square feet. We are looking for spaces in areas wherein high net worth individuals, because Pilates is still something which is not very commonly accessible to everybody, everybody or masses. People just like gym, everybody, and you find gym in every nook and corner. But Pilates is still a prime, fitness service that's not being provided at every nook and corner. So we are looking to establish our stores only in prime areas wherein high net worth individuals or working professionals stay in. That's why we are also targeting metro cities. So prime areas in all the metro and tier 1 cities would be an ideal location to open a Form Pilates studio of about 700 square feet space. Now, total store capex, including your furnishing, including your equipment cost, is about 36 lakhs. It may vary depending on which city you're opening your outlet, but this number has been considered based on the expenses that will incur in majorly in metro cities or tier 1 cities. Now, franchise fee, the brand is charging is 10 lakh rupees. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Store capex, 36 lakhs rupees does not include the franchise fee. Franchise fee 10 lakh rupees is separately, so that makes the total investment is about 46 lakhs. Now, royalty, as I mentioned earlier, 6% would be the monthly royalty that would be paid out to the brand by the franchise owner. Equipment cost, which is already a part of the store capex, is 30 lakh rupees. Working capital, that includes your 3 months rental deposit, first month's staff salary, and a few expenses on very first month, is about 6 to 6.5 lakhs. This again may vary depending on which city or location you're opening your outlet at. Average ROI on a yearly basis is about 80%. So that means within 5 years of your tenure, your average ROI would be about 80% on your total investment. Now, payback period on capital expenditure is about 22 months. Tenure, as I mentioned again, is 5 years. This is a snapshot for the area developer. So we are open to give area developer license for about 30 units. So somebody who is keen on taking the area developer license has to first open first direct unit in their own territory. For instance, somebody comes up from Bangalore and says, I want to expand in Karnataka. So they will open up very first unit of their own, and then remaining 29 units, they can start subletting or sub-franchising. Now, master franchise fee for an area developer license is being charged as 40 lakh rupees. Now, direct unit setup cost is about 36 lakhs, like discussed in the previous slide. Total investment to set up a store is 36 lakhs. So that makes a total investment of an area developer is about 76 lakh rupees. Now, franchise fee share. So whatever franchise fee would the area developer will charge from their sub franchisees, out of which 60% will be given out to the brand and 40% they will keep with themselves. Again, same is the case with royalty share. 60% will go out to the brand, 40% will be kept by the franchise partner. Payback period for an area developer is about 25 months, close to 2 years, and agreement period is again 5 years in the beginning and 5 years for the renewal. Okay, for the ideal partner profile, we have a few common parameters. Somebody who's been an active participant in the fitness industry, somebody who has taken relevant qualifications, just like Dr. Mangesh and Dr. Pratnya have certified themselves. So anybody who's been a gym instructor or has been a part of the fitness industry, like nutrition, or somebody who already just studying but trying to get into a professional journey of being a fitness instructor, can be a really good person, can be a really good partner to take up a franchisee of from Pilates. Somebody who is a full-time business owner, because we are only open for franchise owned, franchise operated model, we will require a person who is not just available for making an investment, but also be available to look after the day-to-day operations, how to gain more traction in the market, how to popularize your brand, how to handle the customers, how to train your staff. So it will require the physical presence of the franchise owner in the outlet, especially for the first 6 months. They will be required in the outlet during the working hours. So we are looking for full-time business owners, partner with good market knowledge and connections, somebody who's associated with the business, like I already mentioned, fitness industry, somebody who has connections in the vicinity where they are planning to open their outlet, so that they can easily get more and more customers, and they don't have to wait much on covering their opex in the first few months. Women entrepreneurs, since Pilates is something that women are more attracted to, although like I've gotten the insight from Pradnya and Mangesh that they have a lot many male subscribers or clients as well, but women are something which are um, uh, naturally attracted to do Pilates. So we are looking for people, we are looking for women entrepreneurs. We are promoting women entrepreneurship through Form Pilates as well. Somebody who is strategically fit, financially fit means somebody who has the financial bandwidth of spending that kind of a money and have some separate contingency funds with them. Operational, again, operational fit means somebody who's operationally available to take care of the day-to-day operations and handle the customer and staff. Marketing fit means somebody should understand how to market their brand, which platform they should go ahead with, what kind of maybe influencer tie-ups they can do to promote their brand in their territory where they've opened the outlet. So all these criterias would be paramount for us to partner with people. Now, rollout plan, like I said, we are first targeting the tier 1 and metro cities. So Delhi, NCR, Bombay, again, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Pune, Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Chandigarh, Indore are the cities that we are primarily actively looking to find partners in. Kolkata also can be considered, but I'm not really sure whether Pilates is something which would be very much popularized in Kolkata, but remaining all the cities we are totally open with. We are not sticking ourselves only in these cities. Somebody apart from these cities comes up from any other city with a keen interest, we would definitely like to explore the opportunity. That said, I would like to conclude the presentation here, and we are open to take up questions around the investment details or anything.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nikita. And friends, I request to all of you, if you have any questions, you can use the Q&A box. I see some questions have already started to come in. We can remove the presentation, Bharat, if you have an access to the screen. Right. So, friends, just to quickly summarize the model, and if you look at Pilates as a category, it is a low-impact strength and a mobility exercise system that has moved from a niche back then, and now today to a mainstream fitness category. Globally, this is one of the fastest growing studio segments, which is driven by a lot of wellness trends, strong tailwinds, I would say, which is combined with a structural shift in consumer behavior today. So today, a lot of locations which I'm seeing, especially for the last 2 years, outside the gyms, which was mostly seen, coming up in your neighborhood, I'm seeing a lot of Pilates studios today which are opening up. And some of the main differentiation pillars that I would say, which are very important to be noted, first and foremost, the business has clinical credibility, which is physio-led assessment and programs which they conduct. A very strong competitive mode, which I feel is very hard to replicate, which is their clinical credibility combined with the studio blend, which they are operating currently. And also the Pilates physio domain is asset light. When I say asset light, if you look at the investment comparatively at the level of gym, the investment is almost 3 to 4 times in the gym business. So it's an asset light model. The entry for a franchisee comparatively is at a low investment. And also the size of the studios are compact. You don't need a very large area. The minimum area requirement is about 700 square feet of space. So even in a prime location, your rental is not very high. Unlike gyms, which requires anything from 3,000 square feet onwards of space, which may sometimes make it unviable financially for operators of gym to take a very prime location. So the per square feet efficiencies for a Pilates business is comparatively much more higher. So in a nutshell, the opportunity that we're looking is franchisee owned and operated. The entire systems, processes, training would be given by the company. Having said that, we're also open to onboarding area developers. So we've also split the entire territory of India into different territories where somebody is looking to own a complete state or a market. We'll be happy to discuss that case to case. I think the numbers which Nikita has shared in terms of a financials and rollout, that is for a larger territory. But if you're keen to do even a single city and you say you want to take maybe a city like Pune, we can have a discussion. Maybe a smaller city cannot have those many higher number of intake for centers. So we'll be happy to discuss. If you're looking for a larger territory, if you're looking for a single city, we'll be happy to have these discussions with you. Now, I'll be happy to take some questions from our audience. And Pratnya, maybe from your own experience, if you can talk a little bit about, the overall program. So we understand the investment. So if you can help us to understand the typical programs that are being run in our studios, so and maybe the share of the revenue of these programs. So if I say these are 5 programs which are run, which of these would be the highest in demand, so to say?
Got it. So again, to kind of provide an overview, right? So typically, whenever someone comes in, they come in as an inquiry, right? And we would offer them a trial session. Trial sessions are paid as well, although they are discounted. So we don't offer free trial sessions because we want to make sure if someone is making the commitment, they're showing up. So those will be paid trial sessions as well. Once they're coming in for trial sessions, we find out whether or not they will need a regular group session or are they coming in for physiotherapy services. So basically, once they come in for trial session, we would find out which category they would fit into, and accordingly, we would provide the services. So the main 3 categories being physiotherapy services, then clinical Pilates, and group sessions. So say if someone is coming with slip disc problem, we will offer them, and these will be provided by a physiotherapist, not by an instructor. So a physiotherapist will provide, it will be a paid consultation. So they will do the assessment, make a treatment plan, and will find out, do they need traditional physiotherapy services, which can be provided at the studio as well. If they are done with traditional physiotherapy services, but they still need more individual attention. So say if they have slip disc, they don't have pain anymore, but they want to start their exercises. They want to take them from basic to a little higher level. Then they would qualify for, say, clinical Pilates. So a physiotherapist will take them through clinical Pilates session, targeting their treatment plan or targeting their goals that would be appropriate for that person. And once they are up to a level where they can join the group session, eventually, ideally, they should join the group session to prevent the problem from occurring again, from pain to come back. So the progression would be from physiotherapy to clinical Pilates to group session for those patients who are appropriate for that. But those are the three main categories where they would be coming in for.
Wonderful. And
Just to add to the group
sure.
Pilates classes, we have group classes running all 7 days from morning 7 o'clock to about 9 p.m. in the evening, except for a few hours in the afternoon when people don't work out. So we have various like 50-minute batches of group classes running, and people kind of end up buying different packages once they go through the trial session and they enjoy the experience of Pilates. Then they would opt for one of the packages. It could be a month's package, 2 months, 3 months, or we also have 6 months and annual packages. So
Wonderful.
yeah, just wanted to
And
add that.
typically, what is our batch size when it comes to group classes? How many?
Our projections are based on 4 people in a batch.
Okay, so it's very, very
So the-
personalized, right? So
Yes.
50 minutes, 4 people.
Correct.
And we do it 50 minutes. So typically in a day, I'm sure early morning and closer to the end of the day, these are
At
peak
the peak
hours
times, yeah,
for
and
people.
weekends.
Wonderful. So there are a couple of things, I see some questions, I'll take those. But in a nutshell, if you can also help us to understand the overall unit economics, right? So if you look at a center size of 700 odd square feet, what is the average, I would say, the capacity, so to say, the ideal capacity for the center? What should that, base be? What is that we typically charge on an average? While I understand we have different pricing depending on the programs which are taken by the members. But if we look at some broader structure of the average pricing, number of members, and how do you see in your own experience, because you have opened 2 locations in the most prime and a very expensive real estate. So how do you see these numbers, adding up month on month? So I'm sure the capacity does not get filled in the very first month. So what in your experience has been, the addition in terms of our capacity, the average capacity for a center like this, and the typical, I would say, the, price points that we have?
So we would say typically in a day, we have 10 or 11 sessions. And those 10 or 11 sessions, we have 4 people attending, like capacity to attend for 4 people, right? So approximately we would say 40 sessions a day. And depending on the demand and area, capacity could be different. So we would say at least 70 to 85%. Our Ville Parle studio most of the times runs at 95% and Andheri about 70%. It just in Andheri, there is a lot of competition around.
Yes.
So capacity wise, that's what makes a difference. Also in the mornings, we try to run more group sessions. And in the afternoons and early evenings, we combine physiotherapy treatments and group sessions. So since we have 4 reformers and we will have our business model also includes a physiotherapist. So as this group sessions are running, say at 4 p.m., we have, instead of 4 people, we have 2 people attending, but we could have a physiotherapy treatment going on at the same time in one of the reformers. So not necessarily it's only occupied by group sessions. It can also be occupied for, say, personal session, for clinical Pilates, or for physiotherapy services. And in terms of your question for pricing per session, so typically a trial session, we are charging, at least in Mumbai, 500, because typically a single session costs about 1,200 to 1,300 on average. So this is a discounted pricing so that it's like an introductory session for them. A personal session is about 2,500 per session. And a group class, if we go individually, it would be around 700 to 900 rupees.
Sure. And you also mentioned typically when people come and take membership and take these programs, they do it for a long period of time, which can start from a month to a quarter. So the average number of sessions typically an individual takes, what would be that number?
We would say about 18, about
18
16 to
sessions.
20, because a lot of people would go for, say, 12 sessions, or some people go for 24 or 36. But what we've seen, if we had to take an average, it would be 16 to 20 sessions.
Right. And typically, what is the duration for them to complete these number of sessions?
It would be 2 to 3 months.
3 months time,
Yeah.
because you do it on certain days in a week, you don't do the entire
Right.
week.
So we do recommend doing it twice a week or thrice a week, but we do have people who would come in 4 times. It just depends what their preference is. So in that case, they will not wait for their monthly membership to get over, because it's sessions based what they're going to pay for.
Absolutely.
It's not like gym where they're paying
Correct.
for
You
one
take an annual
monthly
membership and you can take as many sessions.
sessions. Correct. So once they exhaust their sessions, they pay for the next amount of sessions.
So very quickly,
So,
I'll
and
just
we as a Pilates expert usually recommend them doing 3 times a week for 3 months is the right amount of intensity and duration to kind of see a transformation. So after all, again, it depends on their availability and budget, but we recommend 3 times a week for 3 months. When somebody completes a trial and has that chat with us after the trial, we would go over that kind of intensity and duration would be ideal.
sure. Shall also take a question. I think some of these questions, if we can help our friends who've come in to understand. So the first question is on the clinical Pilates. Are the services which are given by us certified by any orthopedic or physiotherapy body? And are the treatments equivalent to those which are offered by conventional therapists, physiotherapists?
Right. So as mentioned earlier, clinical Pilates will only be provided by a physiotherapist. So it will be provided by a qualified professional. In terms of conventional physiotherapy, we will be providing conventional physiotherapy at the studio as well, but clinical Pilates is one notch higher. So once you're done with clinical Pilates, it's like a bridging between regular group sessions before they go out and do their fitness routine. This would be a bridging gap between traditional physiotherapy and group sessions. So they can take those clinical Pilates sessions.
I also want to add to that a little bit. See, nowadays, a lot of physiotherapists are also recommending clinical Pilates. So we get a lot of referrals from surrounding physiotherapists because they finish traditional physiotherapy with them. But with traditional physiotherapy, you can do only a little. You can't do intensive strengthening, especially for somebody who has had a knee replacement or any kind of back surgery. After completing like 3-4 months of physiotherapy, physiotherapists would then, make a transition to Pilates for those patients who would then come in for more intensive rehab.
And do we also have specific programs, is the question which I see, for people who have problems with respect to cervical slip disc issues?
Yes.
Uh,
So
Yes.
go
You
ahead.
go ahead, Prat. Okay, so every medical condition is different. So when a patient with a certain medical condition, let's say cervical or sciatica, comes in, we would do a thorough medical evaluation. A physiotherapist would do a thorough medical evaluation, and based on that, his clinical judgment, he would then devise customized or tailor-made plan for that particular patient. It won't be one size fit all. It will be exclusive plan for that medical condition, and then the physiotherapist will work using the reformer, design those exercises and work with that patient and slowly progress that patient.
Wonderful. So, if I take the number, because there was a question on the royalty and, on what amount the royalty is to be paid, is a question which I see from Ashish Godbole. So, Ashish, the overall revenue that we do from the center, which is in the form of memberships that we take from our members, that total contributes to the revenue. And a percentage, which is 6% out of that, is taken care, is given to the company towards a royalty. So 6% is the royalty on the overall revenue. So if we can maybe, help to understand, if we talk about capacity of say 40 in a day, I'm sure, these are repeat members who would come on, week on week basis. So if you look at the overall capacity, is it okay to say in a month we can have about 150 such members who are coming and taking these programs? These are unique members.
If you look at it from one session standpoint, but every member kind of takes multiple sessions in a week. So on an average, let's say somebody's coming twice a week, then he's taking, at least 16 sessions, right? Or 8 sessions in a month or 16 in 2 months. So and depending on the number of members that you have, and depending on how many sessions they are taking, we can come up with a number. So not necessarily there are 150 clients coming in a month, but there could be like around 160
If you can
to
give an example of the two centers
sessions.
that we currently run, so what would be our unique, count of members we have, and what is the average revenue, because you've done the entire year, and I'm sure there can be some numbers that you can share at the maybe broader level. And friends, I'll also request if you're keen to get more information on the financials, we like to discuss that one-to-one with all of you.
We would say on average, the number would be around 60 to 85, and Mangesh, correct me if I'm wrong. So that would be our numbers, because we can only accommodate 4 people at a time. So that would be it. And we also have personal sessions. So those would be the time when that would be one-on-one session with clients. And in terms of the other question was about monthly revenue, did you say?
Yes.
Okay. So monthly revenue, we would say initially it would be about say 3.54, but then after first 6 months, because initially as you start building up, it would take a little time. And later on, it could go up significantly. There is also variance based on seasons here. So sometimes in monsoon, it might be a little lower. After New Year's, it just, explodes. Everyone wants to start working out. After Diwali, there is again a lot of influx. Anytime there is any festival, after that week, there is a big influx of people who want to start exercising and who would enroll. So in Andheri, it was our first center. It took us, I would say, 2 months at least to kind of see the positive. But we were still making up the operational costs. But with Ville Parle, since we had already built the brand equity in the first more than within half of week itself, we had covered the operational expenses.
Helpful. Just one last question, which is a question which I see from Aman Kumar, which says, do you currently have any partnerships with any hospitals or doctors? But I'm sure because you already have your own physiotherapy memorial hospital, I'm sure a lot of client base must also be driven. But this actually helps. But if you want to extend to that and add anything beyond this.
So yes, we do have a lot of partnerships with doctors, especially with Ville Parle. We have that advantage because we have our own medical setup. It's my parents are doctors, and but we have in Andheri we don't have an advantage. So we have reached out to orthopedics and doctors and hospitals in those areas, and we get a lot of referrals for clinical Pilates, especially from those. We have also reached out to corporates in those areas, and we get a lot of corporates. In like post 6:30 to like 6 to 9 kind of clients come from corporates, and with corporate partnerships you can definitely expect a lot of office goers to come late hours.
Wonderful. So thank you so much, Mangesh, and this was a wonderful webinar. And Pratnya, I'd like to thank you for coming on today's webinar. Friends, if you have any further questions, we've also shared our hotline number, our email ID. I will also request Kishan, if you want to share your direct email ID, anyone who wants to reach out. So Kishan is our head for Mumbai. He's leading the entire project. So if you want to reach out, guys, you can reach out to him for fixing up an appointment. Okay, I see some more questions. So guys, if you have more questions, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer that. And before we close, any last message that you want to share with everyone, Pratnya and Mangesh?
We just wanted to thank you for giving us this opportunity to present our business and our passion to everyone. And those who attended, we really, really appreciate you joining the call. And please do reach out if you have more questions. We would love to answer any questions and queries that you have. Yeah, Mangesh.
And I would like to just give one small advice also. For somebody who does not have a Pilates studio, they have a huge advantage. The advantage that we saw in Ville Parle East, the first mover advantage. So if there are no Pilates studios in a town, be that first person to open a Pilates studio and get a huge influx of referrals, huge clients, and then we will help you and support you with your services to get you and to set you up for success. And again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to present, and thank you for attending this webinar. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you. I
And we
think
want to
one
thank
question.
Franchise India also for organizing this event and helping us out with the presentation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Just one question I'll just take. I think somebody has asked the royalties on the profit or on the revenue. So the entire royalties in any business are based on the revenue that business makes. So I hope that answers. And somebody's also asked on the calculation. And friends, like I said, we'll be happy to discuss that one-to-one. We have worked on very deeper financials, unit economics. So if you get in touch with us, we'll be happy to share these on a one-to-one meeting or a discussion with you. And I will also urge all our friends who are specifically from Bombay, with 2 centers which we are running in Vile Parle and in Dheri. I'll request and encourage all of you who are keen to come experience the brand, because listening is one, but if you come and experience the brand, it gives you a very complete understanding of the opportunity. So we'll encourage all of you to also visit, especially our friends in Mumbai or maybe close by, which is Pune if you're keen. Kishan, I see you've raised your hand.
Yes, I wanted to just add an update on the numbers of Pilates studios in Maharashtra and Gujarat for all the investors. Pilates is a new form of workout that's actually gaining traction a lot over the last 2 years. In Maharashtra alone, there have been about 120 new Pilates studios that have come up in the last 2 years. So it is a form of workout that is really gaining traction, and the fact that 120 new studios coming up in 24 months speaks a lot. In Gujarat territory, there have been about 73 new Pilates studios in the last 2 years, out of which 50% of them are in Ahmedabad only. So there is a huge potential here, in terms of having a Pilates studio, because this form of workout is really gaining a lot of traction and momentum. Thank you.
Right. Thanks so much, Kishin, for your remarks. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining this. In case if anyone would like to get in touch with us, I already have shared the franchise center number 9717683838, or you can also write to us at feedback@franchisecenter.in. If anyone is from western part of India, maybe from Mumbai, Maharashtra, they can connect with Kishin. He is the business head from Mumbai, and he will definitely be there to help you throughout with the meetings and everything, in coming days. So yeah, that's it for the day, everyone. Thanks so much, Sonia ma'am, for coming here, adding values to this overall webinar. Both the co-founders, we really appreciate you for the great presentation and the business opportunity that you are offering to all the investors and all my colleagues, in panel who joined this webinar and helped me driving this webinar perfectly. So that's it for the day, everyone. Thanks so much. See you once again tomorrow, once again with a new brand, and we'll explore another business opportunity at 12 o'clock. That's it. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.